Cool 101.7. We have the distinct pleasure of having. Now, this is. I have Rob Leer with me. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
First of all, we had a different cup, the NCHC Cup, that visited us last year. This one is called the
Penrose Cup.
Okay. And last year we had the
Frozen Face-Off Championship Trophy.
Okay. Now, tell me some of the differences between the two cups.
Well, they're both about the size of a keg of beer.
Mm-hmm.
They both weigh about the size of a keg of beer.
Okay.
And to the victor, whoever is the champion of the regular season or the postseason, is awarded this beautiful trophy as being emblematic of a championship that's been well earned.
Okay. This one looks more like a Stanley Cup to me than the playoff cup did that you brought last year.
Much agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, the standard of all championship trophies all begins with any comparison to the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And the same, the silver, the reflection that is garnered when you stare into that just majestic piece of trophy. It is just it's
both
spectacular.
beautiful.
Oh yeah,
they're both beautiful cups.
You'd find places, Chris, at home to put those in your trophy cases.
Oh, I would build a place, I think, if I won one of those. No doubt.
Well, and that's where we hope that fans will come out to Amsoil this weekend, because the championship trophies will be on display, and really a chance for fans to get up close. And we do not encourage touching the cup because, as we've talked in the past, there are very superstitions here with hockey, and
right.
of those historic superstitions that anybody that's touched the cup, they've not necessarily been able to benefit from those fruits of labor.
It's kind of like when teams win their conference, they don't pick up the cup, they don't, or the award, right, because they don't want to have any sort of bad karma in order to win the Stanley Cup. So it's kind of the same thing.
That's the NHL lore, absolutely.
Right.
Anybody who wins their conference championship won't touch the cup. They put it on a table and they stand there and they say thank you, but they don't dare touch it.
Yep. So it's kind of the same thing. Nobody touch it because UMD is going to have this epic comeback this year, and they're going to pull it out, and they're going to win the whole thing, and then they'll be in the NCAA, and it'll be over. Well,
they've got the talent to do it.
Oh, definitely.
And in college hockey, more than any other sport, you just get on that 6 or 8 game roll, and anything's possible.
Well, they've got the goalie, and he's having the year of his life. I mean, statistically, this is one of the better years that he's ever had, and yet the record does not reflect it because it's just being 1-goal games everywhere.
Well, and part of that is about this National Collegiate Hockey Conference, which is the premier league in all of college hockey. And as we were discussing here before we went on here this morning, 2 of the top 5 teams in the country are from the NCHC, 3 in the top 10, 7 of the 8 have been ranked or have had votes, and their one-loss record, their combined one-loss record, is better than any conference in the land. And so,
who'd have thought when they broke up the WCHA that they would actually everybody that they cast off would wind up being the stronger league?
Yes, no, they're smiling internally.
Yes,
because it is certainly the premier college hockey conference.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's move on because we know that UMD is going to make it into the playoffs and eventually win the playoffs, so they'll have at least that cup for this season. People can get tickets and come and see these games for the finals and everything. And how would they do that?
Well, it all happens at Target Center in downtown Minneapolis, March 18th and 19th. It's the weekend celebration of this Premier Hockey Conference, and it takes qualifying to get in. I mean, all teams get in the playoffs, then you must win that first round, and the top 4 come to Minneapolis, and then that puts you into the semifinals and the finals with a chance that the winner can punch a ticket automatically into the NCAA postseason.
And win the cup that you brought last year.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
So now let's recap this weekend. The Cup is going to be down there. This is all part of the Hockey Minnesota celebration.
Hockey Day Minnesota, as the whole state is celebrating hockey. UMD amongst those that are out there to celebrate right with them. So many products on their team are products of the Minnesota hockey system. And this trophy is going to be on display at Amsoil as a way just to to recognize all the great players from Minnesota, but also to let fans know what the ultimate prize is here for the teams that are fighting weekend after weekend after some very tough competition.
I tell you what, Norm McIver brought the Stanley Cup here a few months ago. You have to see this cup too. I invite everybody to go down there and see this cup too, because this one is just as beautiful. I'm not going to say more because the Stanley Cup has so much more history, but this one is definitely a beautiful cup that everybody needs to go see.
Well, thanks, Chris. Yeah. I hope fans will want to come out and see the trophy and take their picture because it is magnificent.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on today, and thanks for bringing the cup.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.